Thanks for keeping me around. All right, so this is base green with a small white splash and a small blue splash. Mid-range aggro style thing. Hey, Todd the Rage, checking in with the Twitch Prime support. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for shipping me your Bezo bucks. Yeah, I think the Gateway Plaza was fine. This deck, this card, Hadana's Climb, is a card that I've been very impressed with in Standard. The mid-range matchups in the Standard format tend to come down to like these big board stalls a lot of the time, and Hadana's Climb is this card that's very, very powerful for helping us break those board stalls. Biogenic Ooze, also another great card for breaking board stalls because it gives us a card to just dump our mana into every single turn until our board is just wider than their board could possibly be. So we played something similar to this on stream before. We've also played some straight blue-green Climb, and I think all these archetypes are doing something pretty interesting. We've got the staple 4 Krasis here, so let's dive on into some matches and see how they feel here. One of the things I really like about having Krasis in these decks is that Krasis gives us a way to spend our extra mana. So even though a deck like this has 25 lands plus 8 mana creatures, the fact that we have these powerful X spells to dump all our mana into in the mid to late game means that flooding out is a lot less painful. I should probably restart my client. There's a good chance my audio goes warply during this game, and I apologize for that. I just realized we've been going for about 6 hours. Is there room for quasi-duplicate in this deck? What problem does this deck have that quasi-duplicate solves? Mono red is fine. It's powerful and proactive. Has a lot of good cards in it. But Light Fiend. Alright, so Incubation Druid plus tap Planetary, I think. Think we'll ever see your kids play Magic on stream? We actually had like 25 minutes with Declan on stream earlier today. So I think I'm actually just gonna pass here, and I'm gonna like block and then fart the Druid so that becomes a 3/5 and makes a bunch of mana for me next turn. I currently prefer Jeskai Control as my favorite control deck in Standard. Yeah, Declan was on stream to start today. Put this towards the Declan Bird stream. Thanks for the biddies, Tito. I appreciate it. Izreth. That's interesting. She has Death Touch, right? Yeah, she does. Alright, so... How much mana do I have? A lot. I have 6 total here. So I can go... I'm gonna go Tithe Taker, Growth Chamber, Shock, Fart, Growth Chamber. Might be getting a little bit low here. We are down to 12. If they attack this turn, I get to Growth Chamber Guardian, block Izrith, Tithe Taker, trade with Gutter Bones. This makes this a lot worse. I'm really surprised they didn't attack with Gutter Bones here, with the Midnight Reaper in play. I think I'm forced to take this trade here, even though they get to draw a card. This card just, like, generating value every turn, just can't stick around. It's basically drawing a card every turn anyways. Alright, so Incongruity's probably getting used on Midnight Reaper this turn. So I'm going to play this out, and I'm going to go ahead and pass. Because I have Incubation Druid to fart this after blocks, and then I have Incongruity to exile this. Sure. Sure. Really kind of need one of our big plays here. Yeah, I've given up on pretending Adapt is something it isn't. Just fart this card, please. One wet fart, please. One of your finest wet farts. wonder if we'll see Priest of the Forgotten Gods go here. Priest plus Gutterbones is a pretty good combo. Yep. Tithe Taker is very good against the control decks for sure. This deck does not have a lot of removal in it, which kind of sucks. They found Judith. Vomit. Yeah, we really need a Krasis. We need a Krasis or another Incongruity. Have a good one done, Share. Oh, I think we're kind of dead. Need to be aggressive here. I can't just like sit here, because if I sit here, they're just gonna like ride me out, right? Vomit. Yikes. So they get to sack Gutterbones. And then, yeah, so they're going to draw 2 cards. I'm going to lose life. Man, that's brutal. They draw 3 cards with the Midnight Reaper here. And then I have to sacrifice a creature, right? Like, I have to sacrifice the Growth Chamber Guardian, 2 here, because these things kill my 1/1s before this Priest trigger resolves. I don't know, Priest isn't even that good against mid-range that has more removal, right? Like, Priest is exceptionally good in this matchup here, because I only have 3 removal spells in my main deck. Like, post-board, I even get to bring in, like, 3 Baffling Ends, which makes Priest a lot worse. Yeah, anything that's able to apply pressure to them, Priest is really mediocre against, but this is like the actual best possible case scenario, right? Like, I don't have any removal and they have all their cards that synergize with it. Yeah, I'm out of Growth Chamber Guardians. I also, like, haven't found any of my payoff cards here.
Balance comes.
Yeah, we're pretty dead. Get some Baffling Ends and some other spot removal in our deck. They're aggressive enough that I might just want Knight of Autumn here too. Do I want to cut? Tithe Taker doesn't seem like it lines up super well into what they have going on. This is 26 creatures. It's probably enough for Bugler to hit. Do I want this many Hadana's Climbs? I'm going to trim one of those. The Tithe Taker in. Let's give that a go. I have no idea. I haven't played a deck. I haven't played a good Priest deck. Every deck we've played Priest in has felt really bad, just because there's so much interaction in the format. So I don't really have a good metric for, like, if you have a deck that's good, what you're supposed to be doing with it. Yeah, Vivien's okay at finding our payoff, but, like, we have to live to get there, right? And, like, she doesn't impact the board, so, like, a 5-mana card that just digs us to more stuff, I don't think is generally where we want to be in life. So, like, this hand's great. I get to curve Growth Chamber Guardian into Hadana's Climb here. That's, like, one of our better curves for sure. I have plenty of other things that find our payoffs, though, Otros. Like, I'd much rather, like, what am I trimming instead of Vivien? So remember, be constructive and specific. Sideboarding is 1-to-1. So if you want to keep Vivien in, what card that's currently in my deck do you think is worse than Vivien in this matchup? Actually, let's do this now. Sure. This is about to be a sick turn. Yoink. So next turn I can play a Krasis for 5 and then flip my Hadana's Climb. This is kind of our nut draw. Pretty good. So I can play Baffling End here on Judith. I can tap this for green and play this, and then I can play this and then this. This is going to target Growth Chamber Guardian, and then Growth Chamber Guardian is going to go fart and find a friend. Hey, Killer Caterpillar, thanks for the 2-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. And then next turn, I can actually kill them with the Krasis, with the double climb. Baffling End looking much better than Seal Away here, by the way. I think I'm happy with how I sideboarded. Gosh, do I want the third climb after how that went? I kind of want the third climb in my deck, huh? Let's just not cut that. Yeah, Hadana's Climb is solid in multiples for sure. And while if something has 3 or more counters on it, it's not optional to flip the climb. I do like the fact that you can target other things to kind of control when it flips. It did. That felt a lot like a game of Modern. I agree. They didn't have any interaction, and we just like got way out ahead of them. I mean, we had what? We had 7 mana on turn 4. Like, that's kind of absurd. This hand's got a lot of lands in it, but like removal spell into 4/3 sounds fantastic. So let's hope to draw some spells here, I think. Ding, ding, ding. Never didn't have it, etc., etc. I didn't have enough mana to play Climb and activate the other one. It costs 9 mana total because each Climb activation costs 3. I have a couple of choices here. I could like Shock, Baffling End, something that's probably the worst of it. I think Shock, Knight of Autumn is probably pretty reasonable. Sleep is there for the green-black mid-range matchup. It just taps the creatures and then you kill them because the board stalls. Yeah, jamming Climb's other option, just like make Llanowar Elves bigger. I guess getting Llanowar Elves like out of Footlight Fiend range is not unreasonable. It's really funny, and we played it again tonight. It's been a total gas. Yeah, so I get to Incubation Druid here, and then I get to Shock this in, and then I get to Baffling End the Midnight Reaper, and then Incubation Druid's gonna make a buck ton of mana starting next turn, because the Climb's gonna go ahead and power her up. Kind of unfortunate that I burned my removal. Really need to draw a payoff here. Krasis or Ooze. Another elf. Not exactly what we're looking for. Alright, do I just like play this as... I think I just play this as a 4/3 now. and then flip the climb over. And then next turn I can attack them for 10. I don't know what Summary Judgment does. Deal 3 damage to target tapped creature. No. Summary Judgment is worse than Seal Away, I think. Baffling End is good because it proactively takes threats out of play. It's a card that you can use even when your opponent doesn't have stuff going on. Or even when your opponent's not attacking or stuff like that. Alright, so if I block here, they get to kill my thing. I'm probably dead here, actually. Second climb. Is second climb lethal? So if I tap this for this and do this, I think I'm 1 short. Yeah, I'm one mana short of killing them. So I can climb this, have 1 left over, and then have these 2 plus this to put another counter on here, and then I only have two left over once this transforms. It's unfortunate. I don't need to try it, I just counted. We're a mana short of having 24 with flying. Here. I just clicked the wrong thing. I'd say I'm dead anyway, so I'm gonna show you that I can't do it, but I just counted, and they're gonna kill us on board. Between the Judith and the Priest, we're dead this turn. Each climb is basically 4 mana. We're not beating another Priest activation. So that was definitely a game we lost because we didn't have enough efficient spot removal. We only have 6 pieces of removal post board to match up like that. We had 3 Baffling Ends and 3 Incubation Incongruities. We burned the first one on a Midnight Reaper we needed to get rid of. Then they played a Priest and they ran us over with it. So both the games we lost there, they had unchecked Priest, which is very good against a deck with light removal like ours. Well, climb pass works because you put the second counter on the 1/3, and then the climb doesn't flip over on you. So we were just gonna die to like their stack of triggers and their Priest though, so it didn't really matter. Priest is I forgot to restart the client. I was ranting about how things we couldn't do and I forgot, so let me restart real quick here before the audio goes buggy. Oh, these people are great. Buy their stuff. These people also great. Buy their stuff. We didn't see more climbs before Allegiance because the mana was bad. We played a couple of climb decks before Allegiance that felt powerful, but they're just clunky. I actually played the wrong land on one here, so I drew a Hinterland Harbor for the turn. So that means in order to do this plus this, I have to shock again. So it feels a little bit bad. Yeah, you can find the 4-color gate decks and lots of other great stuff on my website, as well as my Stream Decker page. I'm super happy if they want to trade here. They obviously do not. Next turn we'll be able to Krasis for 4, which is great. Get some blockers going on. Actually, I Krasis for 4 and I can flip this, right? Ooh, do I want to get Ooze going? Is getting Ooze going better? I don't think it is. Krasis for 4 lets me block the Thief of Sanity, which is nice. Also gives me a chance to land drop this turn. I think I want to flip the climb over. I guess I probably get to flip the climb next turn anyways. Yeah, I'm going to put this on Tithe Taker and smash them. Hard to believe it's almost been a year. Keep up the great work. Agger, thank you for the very generous tier 2 resub. I appreciate that. Be sure to let me know what deck you'd like to bump in the queue. The tier 2 subs support me a little bit extra, so I always like to let them do that. Thanks for keeping me around. So they get to hit me with this thief here, but the Biogenic Ooze plus the climb might let me power through this. I mean, the deputy didn't take my three elves away, so that's kind of a win for me. And like next turn, wow, that's good. Next turn, I get to play Ooze and make an Ooze laying. So like I'm gonna have 9 power from that here in a second. Huh? Time for us to go wide as well, I think. They can take all the cards they want out of my deck, but like they're just like not going to be able to keep up if they don't have mana. Vivien's like pretty okay here as well. I'm gonna take my Biogenic Ooze away, sad.
Balance comes.
Seems pretty good. Seems pretty good. The more I play this deck, the more I think the white splash is probably worse than a red splash, honestly. I really wish I could just board in 4 Lava Coil in most of these matchups. I feel like Lava Coil would be a lot better than what this card is doing. Tithe Taker's also a little whatever. Like this is fine, but like when we get into sideboard situations like this, the Bugler's not even that great just because it misses a lot. Is Vivien good enough? Like she shoots Thief of Sanity, but like they're kind of slow, right? Early scoop there? Nah, love the scoop. They're done. Let's get it over with. Yeah, I agree, Marty. I think exploring what red could add could be reasonable, but I feel like the white's just not doing enough. I'm not even, like, honestly, I don't even miss the Explore package that much in these mid-range matchups. Like, Hadana's Climb plus these cards are both, like, very good. Why is the Black Splash good? You want, like, Fine Fidelity and Cast Down? Think they're gonna board in Lyra? I'm not sure that they board in Lyra. I guess maybe we're aggressive and have very little removal, so maybe Lyra's fine. Yeah, maybe you're right that Lyra is good. Having 8 ramp creatures with the Biogenic Ooze is good. Yeah, with 8 ramp creatures going up to Fight Worm's not unreasonable. Like less Ooze, more Fight Worm. So I assume I'm losing Ooze here. Yep. Alright, so I'm gonna hope they don't have another discard spell here, and I'm just gonna pass. I guess if they have a removal spell here, I'm a little bit sad too, but my plan here is to fart the Incubation Druid and then play a big Krasis the following turn. Yeah, that's a little unfortunate. Get it, Bobby, get it. Of course, I'm shuffling cards in my hand. course I'm shuffling cards in my hand. Alright. X is 3. Need a blocker. Draw a card. My body is ready for this card to not draw a card. My body is ready for this to put 4 cards at the bottom. Ooze versus Krasis. So I'm going to play Land Elf, which means I have 5, 6, 7, 8 next turn. 9. I think Krasis is better here. Krasis also is another blocker for Thief of Sanity. Second Krasis is worse against Deputy of Detention, though. If they have another one of those. Yep. Two three is pretty good at blocking. The stat line on Bugler is always pretty reasonable. Krasis is worse against my own copies of Baffling End, though. Speaking of Baffling End. Let's just play this for 4 and draw 2. Alright, I think we're ahead. Let the fart chain begin, chat. Gold tier 2. Do I want a 4th Baffling End in the sideboard? We keep playing. Is it just the matches we're playing? I feel like we keep playing matches. We're just like, all I want to do is draw one of our Baffling Ends. I feel like that's pretty reasonable. Yeah, I agree Tithe Taker's been medium in the matches that we've played, but like, it's also kind of matchup specific, right? Nah, I love me third Vivien. Have a good one, Otros. Catch you on Monday, hopefully. I'm gonna be off tomorrow. See you on YouTube, hopefully tomorrow. Sounds great. Two mana versus 4 is an absurd difference. I think I just want the one that's mana efficient. How do you manage chat now that you're getting much larger? We time people out aggressively like we always have. The people who say you can't have a reasonable Twitch chat with 2,000 people are people that don't believe in moderation. We probably have more mods to this channel than most places on Twitch. Alright, so they have a Wizard's Lightning next turn that they're casting, so do I want to play this out into a Lightning? I don't think so. I think I'm just going to go ahead and Incubation here. Okay. How many mods are we sitting at? I don't actually know. How much did a 24-hour stream of just Bant Fog? $15,000. 24-hour streams are miserable and bad for my health. I won't tell you that I won't do it because that's a lie. I'll do anything for the right amount of money, but the answer is a lot. How much to stream naked? I don't know if OBS supports streaming to Pornhub or not. All right, if they draw a brick or two here, we could be okay. But any bit of action basically kills us. We need a land here. Rats! The mono red player figured out how to cast their spell. I always love the long pause when the mono red player draws a lethal spell. Like, do I cast my lethal spell or not? I don't know. Let me think about it. I cut all the climbs in this matchup. Baffling End and Negate both seem reasonable. But I'd rather have Krasis or Ooze in this matchup. Maybe I trim Incubation Incongruity just because it's slow and clunky. And this build doesn't have the Wild Growth Walker package in it, which means this card is worse. Because when the Wild Growth Walker package is here, this helps us find Wild Growth Walker and explore creatures to gain life, but we can't do that in this matchup. We can't do that with this build, sorry. I think this build's definitely much worse in a matchup like this than the straight blue-green climb build that we've worked on a little bit. I don't think this is a mulligan. It's like, obviously not a good hand that you write home about, but I think it's in the realm of keepable. Thanks, Joey. Thanks for dropping in. All right. Blast me, baby. Squabba Steve. Thank you for the brand new Prime support. I appreciate that. Thanks for shipping your Bezo bucks this way this month. There's a lot of great people you could send those to. Thanks for sending them here. Keeping me around. If they kill my Incubation Druid, I'm probably playing a 2/2 Krasis next turn. Yikes. I am running late this evening. I took a little bit of a nap this afternoon. I can probably sleep in tomorrow. So, I will be taking tomorrow off from streaming. But I'm going for a little bit tonight. We're going to do 2 more decks after this one, and then we've got about another half hour with this. Woof. Take me places, Mr. Bugler. Yeah, Poppy needs a 2-drop. Poppy needs a 2-drop. Alright, alright. Alrighty. Militia Bugler found chump block target Steamkin. Don't have 2 more spells. Alright, God bless. Oh, it hurts. Alright, that is reasonable and beatable. Perfect. Down to 10. Next turn, we gain 2, draw 2. We'll have a 4/4 that can trade with this. We have a Bugler to guess back up with. The Buglers are good in this deck. The Tithe Taker's been a little bit mediocre, but the Bugler has been good. That's for certain. Next turn, I get to go Bugle Boy, Growth Chamber, Tithe Taker, and we're at 12 here, so We're pretty close to being stabilized at this point. So if they want to attack with everything, we trade, eat, take 4 down to 8. Then, like, we put a giant brick wall up. Alright, yeah, this game's done. We're gonna stabilize at 8. It does kind of randomly have vigilance. Ooh, we're gonna stabilize at more than 8. Trigger. Yep. I would love to trade a Bugler for your 3/3, thank you. Alright, so play this, fart it, play another one. Actually, let's just do this in game 4. I don't want to expose this to a removal spell. That chain's gonna win me the game. Get a little aggressive here, close this game out. Yep, this is what turning the corner looks like. Sweet, that'll lock things up for us here. Not that we really needed it, but that's a wrap, folks. Dunk, 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 dunk. Bunk, 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 bunk. Dunk, 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 dunk. Dunk, 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 dunk. Nope. I am happy with how I sideboarded. Let's run it back. You're a late one tonight? Yeah, we're running long. I like to try and do at least one evening stream every other week or so. Catch some people on a different time zone than my normal ones. Give some people a full little bit of live time if they mostly watch on YouTube. I mean, like, is it really saving money on development if they're spending development time on those cards? I think there's a good chance that it wouldn't be profitable for them to backcode sets on Arena. Seems like not amazing, but it's definitely in the range of keepable. Our deck doesn't actually have that many 1-mana spells in it, so we can't just like mulligan for Llanowar Elves every game, unfortunately. Really like to draw a removal spell here. Think I'm supposed to play this, so when they kill it, I get to block still. Obviously, playing Incubation Druid has the upside of playing 2/2 drops next turn, but I think whatever I cast here is just dying, so... Although I guess the downside to playing Tithe Taker is they have it done on board with the Fanatical Firebrand. I mean, it's already a demand by the player base now, but that doesn't mean it's a profitable use of their time. I think especially, I think there's a big demand for backcoding stuff right now, especially because we don't have a new non-rotating format. But I think especially once there's a second constructed format to play in Arena, there'll be a lot less fuss from players about Modern Legacy. People just want like a little bit more variety in the game modes. We just don't have that yet. It did gain 4. You're not wrong. Ooh. So I already have an Ooze and a Krasis in my hand, so I'm gonna take Llanowar Elves here, so I can go Elf plus a 2-drop next turn. Unchecked Steamkin is terrifying. Wow, they get to go shock into Chain Whirler here into attack for 4. Yeah, we're probably dead. You have to enable... Well, they didn't play the Chain Whirler, God bless. You have to enable... Oh, they know about the Llanowar Elf. They're not playing the Chain Whirler because they know about the Llanowar Elf. That makes sense. You have to enable manually stacking triggers in your settings. So I am not playing the Elf out because I don't want to give them free Chain Whirler value. If they attack with both of these, I'm going to trade with Vanisho. If they attack with just Runaway Steamkin, I think I'm going to chump block it. They're going to attack with both, and I'm going to go down to Ummelstead. So I go to 3 here. I'm on the 0 outer now, right? I guess I can play Krasis for 1, or for X's 2, gain 1, play Llanowar Elves, and then I can trade for Pyromancer, chump block Steamkin, and then I could maybe get something with Biogenic Ooze or another Krasis going the following turn. Could you imagine if some of these cards were just like Explore Creatures plus Wildgrowth Walker though? We would stabilize here really hard. Not having that package feels bad. If I play Ooze here, I just have to go chump block, go to 1. So I think playing Krasis is actually better. I think playing Krasis plus Elf is better and hoping they brick here. Anti-Trumpet, thank you for the 13-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. And obviously we're dead to a stiff breeze there. Yeah. Welcome back. All right, I think I'm gonna call it a wrap on this one. I think this is a build that I don't think I'm gonna play again on stream. After playing with that a couple of times, I definitely think that one, if you wanted to play with this deck, building in the Wildgrowth Walker package is probably good. And the conclusion I came to while testing the straight blue-green build was that Ooze ended up just being a little bit too clunky. I feel like Ooze, Vivien, Krasis, these are like all your 3 different pieces of top end, and this is kind of top end too, honestly. And Ooze ends up just being the most clunky of all these options. And while it is good in some spots, it's just like adds too many expensive cards to the deck, and you're gonna have too many clunky draws where you just kind of get run over. And especially makes like your mono red and mono white matchups much worse to the point of being like very bad. I think Deputy of Detention would be good. Maybe. I don't know. I think Deputy Detention is probably worse than just having an Explore package. Tithe Taker was definitely super underwhelming, but like moving the curve even further up and like adding more creatures that people want to kill, like I don't really know if that does a whole lot for us. I think I'd rather, like I said, just have the Wildgrowth Walker package. All right, what are we gonna do? We're gonna move on to Black Red Demons up next. Yeah, there's a reason why the Explore package is kind of omnipresent, right? This is a hot mess of Magic cards. We're gonna clean up some of the numbers in this deck really quick here, starting by putting 4 Orzhov Enforcer in. I think that card's real sweet. Random Carnival. I'm gonna leave the Liliana's contract because that's cheeky. All of the decks that I play on stream, you can find on my YouTube channel. So if you have a question about something that we've played, you can check out my website or my YouTube channel, and if it's not there, then I haven't played it. We stay pretty organized around here.